Zypha says, for one of my sites, when I do a brand search, the site doesn't come up in SERP and the branded assets do in the GDP. I was thinking it might be due to the December core update. Do you want to see if your site's affected and any idea how to fix things? Well, I mean, if you do a brand search, well, try a domain search. So try a root domain search, or if it's a subdomain site that you're looking for, do a search for just the domain. So go to Google and search for just the root domain or the subdomain, whichever it is. So like semanticmastery.com, you just go to Google and search semanticmastery.com. No protocol, nothing. Just put the domain in and see if the home page of the domain search shows up in the #1 position, then there's not an algorithmic penalty applied. At least it's likely that there's not. If you do a brand search, a domain search, and you do not see the domain show up, the homepage of the domain show up in the #1 position, then it is an indication that there's an algorithmic penalty applied against the domain. Now, doing a brand search, that's different than a domain search, right? If the domain is strong enough and has been associated with the brand properly, then when you do a brand search, the homepage should show in the #1 position. But if the association was not strong enough, then it can pull up other branded or supporting assets that are referencing the brand name that are stronger. And so that can happen. That's why it's important to have, #1, the brand name as the leading optimization. You lead with the brand name on the homepage of the branded site, period. And that's why I've been preaching about this for months, if not well over a year now, to everybody that will listen, because I see all the time that SEOs are still optimizing the homepage of the local business sites for keywords and not for the brand name. I can't tell you how many audits I've done recently where the homepage doesn't even mention the brand name in the SEO title or the H1. What the hell? So you have to have the homepage of the site, whether it's a subdomain or root domain, doesn't matter. The homepage of the site should be optimized for the brand. First and foremost, that should be the primary optimization point, is the brand. And if that's not done properly, then other assets can outrank the brand search. And then other SEOs like me can come in and optimize an external page for the brand and outrank the brand itself, right? And then poach traffic away from the actual company and send that traffic to my clients or to lead gen assets. And that's something that we do, right? I've even done some training in the mastermind recently about using CTRify to do brand jacking. It's super easy to do. And it works, by the way. I could demonstrate that. Let me just see. Are you guys seeing my screen? I didn't even ask. I'm hoping you are.
Oh, yeah.
You are seeing my screen? Okay. Because it's difficult. I'm on a Chromebook. But let me just show you guys real quick. If you take a look, this is just a test that I started to do, I don't know, a couple of months ago. And all I did was create the site and did nothing else. I didn't build any links to it. I didn't do anything but create the site with CTRify, which is stupid easy to create a site. All I had to do was buy the domain and plug a keyword in and hit go. And then once it was built, I sent the site in for indexing, and that's it. But this is a company that gets a very high branded search query. Even in Google Trends, by the way, this is a whole, I don't know how much I should share on this right now. Fuck it, it's a new year. Let me go ahead and do this just for the sake of it. This is a great question. So let's go ahead and talk about this. Trends.google.com. Go to trends, guys. This is something you all can do. And this is getting to Zypha's question. So his question is, he's got a domain that is, when he does a brand search, is not showing up. It's being outranked by other assets. That's because the association from the domain to the brand has not been done properly. That can be fixed through schema, through proper HTML markup of the homepage, right? With proper optimization of the homepage with proper HTML usage, heading tags, etc. And then also links with brand anchors, also schema. All of those things can associate the brand with the domain, right? But what I'm saying is, if you don't do that properly, then people like me come in behind and can actually poach traffic away from brand searches because you're not optimized for your brand properly. And I'm getting to a point here because this is also an opportunity for us as SEOs to go in behind other SEOs that don't know what they're doing when it comes to local search in today's current environment. And you can poach traffic away from the companies and areas that are doing the most advertising. If you think about it, what causes local consumers to do branded search and clicks? In other words, they search for a company by name instead of a generic search query. It's advertising. That's what does it, right? companies that are spending money on a lot of money on advertising in their local market are the companies that get the most branded search and clicks. So if they're spending money on advertising and getting their name out there, and it's causing local consumers to go to Google and search for the company by name and then click through to the website, the GDP, whatever, then if they're not optimized for that brand name, then we can come in behind them and outrank them very easily with very little effort. And most SEOs that I know are not optimizing for brand, for local search queries. They're still optimizing for queries, which is ridiculous in today's current environment. So let me give you an example. Here we are in Google Trends. I'm going to go search for tree service. In my industry, most tree service companies have the name or the word tree service in their company name, or tree care, or tree removal, or something like that. So I'm just going to go with the very broad and general tree service keyword, as you can see here. Now, I want to look at the past 12 months of data, and then I'm going to go put this to just the state of Virginia, because that's where I am currently, and I want to show you something. All right, so this is showing now search interest for the search query tree service in the state of Virginia for the past 12 months. And if we scroll down here, what do we see here, guys? So under here, take a look at this. Rising means since over the time frame selected, which in this case is 12 months, there was a significant increase in search interest for these keywords. There's one of 8 here. If we go in, that's interesting. I wonder why just a minute ago, or just last week, I saw Patriot Tree Service, but that's okay. We'll look at top. Here's the top related queries. And we're going to see if we can find it in here now, because it was here last week, which is interesting. We're not seeing it right now. All right, let's go back to 5 years, or actually 90 days. Maybe it was 90 days. I might have been looking at 90 days. You can do 90 days, 12 months. Play around with your time frame. But what we're looking at is rising under here, and we're going to see Patriot Tree Service right there. Okay, you see that? So that means, do you understand what just happened? We just changed the time frame from 12 months initially to 90 days. So what this is saying, in the last 90 days, there has been a significant increase in these search queries, search interest. In other words, there's been a significant increase. So these are all potentially companies that I could jack traffic from. In other words, poach traffic away from and send to client sites. And if we go to page 2, you can see Patriot Tree Service had a 2,500% increase in search interest in the last 90 days, right, in the state of Virginia. Okay, so Patriot Tree Service has 2 locations. There's one in Winchester, Virginia, and then there's one in West Virginia, like Martinsburg, which is right on the other side of the Virginia line, West Virginia line. They're very close. It might even be that they only have 1 location, but they're big in, I think it's Martinsburg, West Virginia, and Winchester, Virginia. And I'm only pointing that out because of what I started to show you here, which is this. So we see from, oh, that was supposed to be DA. God damn it, try that one more time. Okay, so now what I'm showing you here is a brand search. It does pop a knowledge panel on the homepage for the company website, but take a look at this, guys. I'm in the number 3 position for a CTRify site that I built, like literally by just buying a domain, submitting it to CTRify with a specific query to have it. AI built this site for me. I didn't have to do a goddamn thing. And then all I did is, once the site was built, all I did was come in and just optimize the homepage SEO metadata. That's it. That's all that I did. I haven't done a damn thing of this, not built any links to it, not anything. And for a brand search, look at this. We're ranking number 3. So imagine if I spent a little bit of time building some links to this and kind of optimizing the pages a little bit better, doing some better internal linking for the site. Just if I took 30 minutes to an hour and spent a little bit of time kind of optimizing the site a little bit better, rearranging some of the internal links and built some links to it, it is likely that I could end up outranking this company. And here's why. Let me just give you an example. I want you guys to see something. If we copy this company name with this homepage of the website for this brand, which gets a lot of brand searches as shown specifically in Google Trends. If we go take a look at this in Chrome, where I have a SEO Pro extension, look at why this is not ranked, why I think I can outrank them. Do you see their company name in any of the heading tags? There's some H2s down here somewhere that have Patriot Tree Service, but the SEO title does not have their brand name in it. The H1 does not have their brand name in it. The first time their brand name appears, as far as I can tell, is all the way down here in an H2 on the page. And so when I saw this, when I was doing some research in the local area, and I saw Patriot Tree Service, and I have a GBP in Winchester and a GBP in Martinsburg, West Virginia, and they come up for both of those searches. So I said, well, son of a bitch, let me take a look and see how is their homepage optimized. And when I saw this, and I saw that they didn't have in the SEO title their brand name even mentioned, they didn't have it in their H1, then I said, I can likely outrank this company with very little effort. And so I again, as a test, it was probably 5 or 6 weeks ago, all I did was submit this domain, Patriot Tree Nova, which Northern Virginia is the official entity, regional entity for the area that contains that location, Winchester, Virginia. And again, look at the results, guys. You see, when I add the location modifier, it's the number 3 position. So just one, like the only, my point is with a little bit of effort, I could probably outrank their main website, right? And so that goes back to what I was saying is it's about entity association. Do you think they're associating their entity, their brand with these service and these keywords? They're not, because it's a missed opportunity. Look at the SEO title. It doesn't even mention their brand. Neither does the H1. So that's what I was getting at with Huzaifa's question, guys, is that you can, it's all about entity association. So if you can do that through leading with the brand name on the homepage of the domain, whether it's a root domain or a subdomain, the homepage of the site should lead with the brand. You can also do it with schema. You can do it with backlinks, right? Supporting assets, all of that, right? You always want to link back to that main homepage with brand anchor or a compound anchor, which is a brand plus something, right? That's a good question. Moving on.